welcome back to another section of, spilling the tea with Jen and Bob's, but we're going to talk about the Tiger King again. I'm Bob's.
I'm Jen.
All right, glad you're with us.
Yes.
All right, we dropped off maybe like episode 2.
Mm-hmm.
So one thing we wanted to mention was the tattoos all over John's body. I did read that the reason he had his shirt off all the time was to show all of his tattoos.
Yeah. Yes, he said something about it. The producers kind of.
Encouraged that.
Encouraged him to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, and then the one that we were just discussing was the tattoo that said "Private Property of Joe Exotic" down below his belly button, and I don't care who you are. Like, I'm not gonna have a private property of my husband's name. I would just make me ill. It makes me ill to think about it. Sorry, honey. I love you.
Not appropriate. Yeah.
But yeah. So anyway, we were just talking about his tattoos. So
He has since covered that up.
he has,
Yeah.
and they actually showed that. And
Did
Didn't they put a big old bull over it?
Yeah.
Was it a bull?
Yeah.
I don't know what I would have put over it, but whatever. Okay, so we know that Don Lewis is missing, and Joe's getting more and more like crazy about that, right?
Very deranged, obsessive
Mhm.
about her. He does a lot of things on his show that
Crazy.
that are just really not.
Okay, so spoiler alert. We end up with Joe. I think that's not a shocker because they show Joe at the beginning in jail, right?
You're right.
Like, so Joe's in jail. We kind of don't know really why, but then as more and more moves on, you figure it has something to do with Carol, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, so whether Joe had anything to do with it or not, of course, I have no idea. However, I think all of this stuff that he did just doesn't look good.
No, not at all. I mean, he went way out there with stuff.
He dressed like a rabbit and then shot her sign, right?
Yes.
And then laid against it as if he was dead, like a dead bunny.
Yes. There was this picture that I don't know if they were taking it out of proportion or is that the right anyway, out of context.
Right.
That it showed some workers holding rabbits, and
yes,
they were deceased, and Carol was trying to kind of spin it in the fact that they were excited that they were going to get to feed them to the tigers because maybe there was some food shortage. I don't remember all that, but I do know that's where she was spinning it. He was spinning it in the fact that they were excited that they'd killed these rabbits. No, it was just a picture. I mean,
right.
That was, you couldn't really take much from that. I mean, I didn't love seeing it, but
no,
I think that
don't like seeing animals.
I'm not really sure. Where
Yeah,
he was, he took that a long way. So that's why he was dressed in the
okay.
Put some blood.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
he did a protest outside of her
And he,
place.
I don't know, outside. Did he okay, so then at what point do they start talking about him paying people? Okay, when does Jeff Lowe come into the picture? Jeff Lowe, right?
Yes. Let's see.
Jeff's an interesting character.
He is. He had some dealings in Vegas.
Yes.
And did you see even Branson was brought up in the...
I do. Yeah, I do remember
that. Was
that.
But
Yeah.
Dustin,
Well, they were sneaking baby tigers into, he was putting them in a suitcase and carrying them right upstairs into, whatever, the 20th floor, whatever floor he was on in the hotel.
Yes.
And then people were coming to him and paying to have their pictures taken with these baby tigers, right?
Like beautiful women. And, I mean, they were paying a lot of money.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Jeff, he was a little sister wife-ish himself. He did seem to have the one, what was her name?
Super
Lauren? Very
disrespectful, I think.
Very disrespectful.
Women. He's a con man, and in my opinion, he is just as guilty. Sorry, Jeff, as probably Joe is. I don't know. I just didn't get a really great vibe, and I feel like he's just. Poor Joe was just not smart enough to run with the big dog con men.
I agree.
James Garretson walked away, riding or jet skied away, unscathed.
Right, all of them at the end.
All of them except Joe.
Except for Joe, who's sitting in jail for
22
who knows if he did it or not. Oh, okay, so when Jeff came, well, there was a couple people in between, and I honestly can't remember their names, but it was a guy in Florida who, I think he was in Florida.
Mario,
yes.
Yeah, he had a backstory.
He had
he
was there one of them that didn't?
Well, that's true. He was like a big giant coat dealer,
Oh, yeah.
right? And
Yes.
he got he
Uh-huh.
was in jail for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they all had criminal backgrounds.
Yeah. Is that a requirement for? I don't know. Maybe it
Big
just makes
cats.
you less afraid of some death. I don't know because
Maybe.
okay. At one point, Jeff Lowe was in the cage with like a lion, right? And I honestly, it was Lauren or Jennifer. I can't remember his.
Lauren.
Okay, so he's leaning over this lion and like playing like you would with your dog,
Right.
and like putting your hand in its mouth or whatever. Well, the lion gets irritated.
Yes. Yes.
And he, quickly tells Lauren to get out, and then somehow manages to get away himself. But I just can't imagine playing with a lion like that.
I know.
No matter what, it's a lion.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, didn't he kind of punch it?
Yeah.
And then she sprayed it with a water hose. I just
Yeah.
thought, I mean.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I felt sorry for the animals, honestly. And then when Joe's, okay, we've got to talk about Saf. Well, when Joe's zoo started to go downhill, and they showed these like animals like circling for food, and they didn't have enough.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Walmart meat buckets.
Okay, even worse, pizza.
Yes.
Now, Joe, shame.
Naughty,
You should
naughty.
almost be in jail for that.
Naughty. That's disgusting. I hope you never eat the GW Zoo pizza.
I hope
because
not,
You're gonna
because-
regret it.
Yeah, and people think that. So yeah, so Walmart's leftover food or expired, right? How did that work?
Yes, it was
Yeah.
expired
Okay.
because then they would say that the workers would go in, and I mean, bless their hearts, they're getting paid $100 a week. It's I don't really think
Yes.
they had enough.
No.
I don't know. I guess I'd still find some other way to eat, but they were
Yeah.
getting meat off the trucks for themselves
Oh,
first.
right.
That was expired.
Yes.
And then they would feed the rest of it to the lions, which
Well,
Or
that
to
didn't go to
tigers.
the pizza restaurant.
yes, and they were like, "This is the best pizza in the world." It's possible that it's. And then when he had that Thanksgiving dinner and he had all the food, I was like, "Friends, I would have eaten that.
Don't eat it.
Where did it come from? You
Yeah.
gotta ask." No meat products anyway. I didn't even know that was a thing. I didn't know that not McDonald's. Sorry, McDonald's.
We're
Walmart.
not a part of this.
No. That Walmart. I don't know what I thought they did.
No, I
honestly.
don't know with the meat, but
I didn't know that they could then. So were they taking it out of their dumpster or?
I thought it was being delivered to them,
Okay.
but I don't know.
I didn't know that was a thing at all.
You're probably right. I mean, I guess maybe it would still be safe for like an I'm sure the expiration date is like maybe even before it needs to be necessarily.
Yes.
So maybe it would be safe for the tigers, and so then I appreciate that Walmart was trying to help that out. I think
Right.
that's
Oh,
kinda cool.
definitely. Yeah, I don't think there's anything.
But then for the people to have to eat it and then serving it at a pizza restaurant, it's like,
I don't need
oh
expired
my
goodness.
No,
know.
I don't either.
No.
I do not.
It has not come to that in my life.
No, thank you, Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, no, it has not.
Bad.
Okay, so anyway, after that, so then things just start to kind of, Saf, let's talk about Saf. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I was a bit confused at her backdrop of where she chose
yeah.
to talk. She was just like, it looked like
Like in front of a camper, maybe?
and some
She's in like a lawn chair?
random.
Yeah. She was super, like, I
Stuff.
liked her. She was
I
like the
did
only
too.
normal person.
Yes.
And that's really a stretch.
Talk about a loyal employee. I mean, the girl
We need
reaches
her,
her arm.
yeah.
She's trying to close the gate. She reaches her arm in the cage. The tiger
Literally
rips
just-
off her arm.
Yeah.
And Joe suddenly has a paramedic jacket on.
Oh, Joe.
I mean, that poor girl is laying on the ground.
Yeah.
They also have a stretcher. Did you notice?
Yeah.
that? And like a.
Oh, was that Joe's? Okay, I thought it was like
I
the.
said get the stretcher. I don't think there were any paramedics there at the time. I don't
You're
think we ever
probably
even
right.
saw the paramedics. And he was like, "Stay with me, And,
Yes, yes, okay.
And then my sweet Maddie pointed out that then shortly after that, Joe has smoked about 7 or 8 or 10,000 cigarettes, and he goes back into his office, and he's just like, "I will never financially recover from this." Not like really.
So Joe really was more worried
I
about
will
Joe
never
than
financially recover from this.
I hope her arm works.
And then she's like, "What? Amputated arm? Well, either they could do a bunch of surgery on her hand and keep it, or she could amputate her arm, and she chose to amputate, so she could get right back to work. 5
That's
days,
right.
7 days.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Because, I think 5, she was back to work 5 days from when they amputated, yes.
Yeah, that's a loyal
Because
employee.
It really is. So she said when she went in, she like signed the papers with that hand. Like that was her writing hand. I don't know if it was her left arm or what.
Yes.
She said, so her hand was working.
Yes.
Like, so it was still intact, but the doctors said it would take 2 years of like major reconstructive surgery to even get it like back. And she's like, he goes, are we gonna amputate? She's like, yeah, just amputate. I don't know. I'm pretty attached to my arms and hands. I guess I'd really have to think about that. I'm not judging you, Seth, because you seem like a pretty decent person, truthfully.
I know.
I liked her.
Yeah,
So,
definitely.
And I think she was really sad when I think she knew Joe was kind of going crazy over Carol.
Yes.
And she was just like
Yes.
Joe, let it
And
go.
so did, and I'm bringing this up and I don't remember his name. Glasses,
GW?
blonde hair,
Yeah,
like
that's the zoo.
shoulder length, but he was always mostly wearing
Oh,
glasses.
yes. I
And the
liked
guy
him.
that was missing his legs, I really thought
Yes.
he was the ultimate voice of reason.
He really was.
I mean,
Except when he said that Joe and him both had guns and they would, they were gonna go ahead and kill each other if something horrible happened with the zoo. Did you hear her say that? I was like, no, friend, you've been like the most normal one throughout this. Like he just seems like a really nice person.
Yeah.
He really did.
Yeah.
Like, boy, he could get around on.
He did
I was
well.
pretty
He did
impressed.
well.
Yeah.
You know, and I did. You know, I mean, as far as loyalty goes,
Oh, Joe had some very loyal people.
he did. But those two guys, they testified against him.
Oh, that's true.
I don't think Sav did, but
The long blonde. Well, and I think
yeah, 'cause
we
I think
were
he's
led to like. Don't you feel like we were kind of shown one part of it up until that point, maybe like their total loyalty, and then during the trial it started coming out. Oh yeah, like he was killing a bunch of tigers and stuff, which made me sad.
and I think he didn't treat them with the most respect. I think he
Right.
spoke to them very meanly.
Oh.
Well, and then was it Kirk, the videographer guy, the reality show guy?
Yes.
He was like, he
Yeah.
was basically saying I had to film this, showing him that he actually loved the animals when he was saying maybe he didn't.
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
don't know. Well, I think he started out it because the videos
Yeah.
they show, I think he did start out, and then the money, and Joe
Just
just
kinda
let that
got
all go to
crazy,
his
yeah.
head because he said
And
himself,
then
when you're in the
Carol.
middle of the tiger pen, and people are all their eyes on
Yeah.
you, and it was just very chauvinistic,
Yeah.
very not good.
Yes.
Not good.
Well, when Joe went in the one time, and I don't know, he was saying that Carol, I think, or maybe it was Jeff, accusing them of putting like sardine oil on his shoe.
Cologne.
Okay.
Yes, because Carol
Oh.
said if you were going to do that, then
Carol.
you would
I
do.
feel like you've been thinking
Carol
about this a bit much.
Baskin.
I feel
He's
like Dawn might have had some sardine oil on her
Yeah.
shoes.
That's what she said. You think I would have put some sardine oil in there? So, yeah.
Yeah, and then that cat, just like these cats are so strong, not that I have to tell anyone this, but man, it just took his foot, like he was like a play toy with that
Yes.
animal.
Yes.
It literally dragged him.
And no one
I'm
ran
surprised
out there. They just
no one
videoed
ran out
it.
to help him. And but he did have a gun, and I don't know why he didn't shoot the cat. I mean, I'm glad he didn't. I certainly would not have wanted to see that, and the cat probably didn't deserve it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if a cat's dragging me by my foot and won't let go, I don't know.
Well, he always
weird.
carried a gun. I think that speaks to his paranoia.
Yes,
I mean, that
definitely.
he
Yeah.
always. And they were very fast and loose with their guns.
They were. Oh, well, did you see when like a woman? She worked for him, but she like walked by him and he just like shot the ground around.
One of them was Travis's mom, because he said it was his mother-in-law.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
What in the world? I don't know.
All right,
It's
friends.
not even funny.
It's not.
It's not funny.
It's just this show. Honestly, every episode you thought could not get more weird. But we're gonna close right now, and we'll be back for some more. Talk to you later. Spilling the tea with Jen and Bob's. We got more on the Tiger King coming up.
Absolutely.